Hi, it's Heather. So let's talk about traumatic shock and why you can't think straight in a crisis. Okay, so have you ever frozen during a crisis? Like something's happened and all of a sudden you're like deer in the headlights. You have no idea what's happening or why your brain isn't working. Has that ever happened to you? And then maybe later you think to yourself, like, why didn't I do something about that? Okay, well, today I'm here to explain what happens and to remind you not to be hard on yourself when this kind of thing happens. So, this is what's happening. You're having a sympathetic nervous system response. So, in your body, you have a sympathetic nervous system and a parasympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic nervous system is when it's all operating perfectly and you're calm and you're digesting and you're able to rest and sleep well. Sympathetic nervous system is the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response. This is when your brain goes, oh my God, there's an emergency. I have to do something about it immediately. And so the reason we can't think straight is literally because the brain is going to dump a bunch of adrenaline and cortisol and neurochemicals that turn off the logical thinking prefrontal cortex and drop us into the hindbrain or the reptilian brain, the brainstem, amygdala and such, that says it's time to be in survival mode. Now, whatever you learn from age 0 to 6, before your brain really started to develop language, and all the other things that you develop before age 6, like you think that monsters under your bed are real before age 6. So it's an emotional response system before age 6, and all of that is stored in your hindbrain, in your amygdala. So whatever your life was like from age 0 to 6 is how your body learns to respond to external stimulus. So let's say, for example, this is where PTSD comes from, right? You're a veteran and somebody drops a pan and it sounds like a bomb, and immediately your body goes into a fight or flight response because your body is going, oh no, a bomb went off and I have to survive now. A much more subtle and less severe example would be, let's say your parents yelled at each other when you were little and you got scared. And then now you're an adult and your partner is yelling at you and you're feeling scared. Well, your brain is going to go right back into age 6 and younger. And the survival mechanism that you learned at that age is going to kick in immediately. So why do we freeze? Fight, flight, freeze, fawn. We're going to talk about freezing today. Okay, so it's adaptive. When you're freezing, your body is thinking that it's camouflaging you. Like, if no one sees me and no one hears me, I'll be safe. You know, think about it. If you're in the jungle and you freeze and then the panther isn't going to get you or whatever. Yeah, I don't know if there are panthers in the jungle, whatever is in the jungle that could scare you and eat you. So your body hides. And even if somebody's like directly in front of you, like ba-da-da-da-da, yelling at you, if your body has been trained to freeze, you're just going to go and you're not going to be able to say anything. Now, here's the thing about that. We don't want to beat ourselves up afterwards because your brain body, you, are doing the best that you can to protect yourself in the moment that your brain is perceiving trauma happening. The trouble is that afterwards, sometimes what we do is we judge ourselves and we end up in a shame spiral. Craziest part about the shame spiral is that that's also going to put you in a sympathetic nervous system response. So your own shame is going to shut you down. So we have to learn how to deal with our shame and the fact that these things are happening and we're having these responses, and hey man, that's okay. Like, being gentle with ourselves when these things happen and being able to calm our systems down afterwards and not loop them and spiral them. Okay, so how are we going to take care of ourselves after something like this happens? Co-regulation. the easiest way to come out of a fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, a sympathetic nervous system response, is co-regulating with someone else who actually knows how to do it. The problem is there aren't a whole lot of people who know how to do that well. So then we have to look to ourselves and we have to regulate our own system. Breathing is one of the most effective ways of calming our own nervous system immediately. I don't know if you've ever done breath work, but if you have, that stuff is fire. It will shift your whole being into an emotional response. And so if you can learn to breathe in a way that relaxes your emotional response, what we try to do is mimic the breath that we have while we're sleeping. So we breathe in the nose for 4, hold at the top, breathe out the mouth for 6 to 8. It relaxes the system. When you're having a panic or anxiety moment, you're breathing shallow. You're not breathing deeply. So that's one thing we can do. A second thing we can do is, I love the weighted blanket. You can put something weighted on you to literally calm your nerves, calm your nervous system down. And then we also, maybe after you notice that somebody's, something traumatic is happening, maybe somebody yelled at you, or maybe you've had a really stressful weekend and now you have a minute to yourself, you'll notice yourself cry, or maybe you'll shake, or maybe you'll sleep. These are all ways that your body can restore itself back to neutral, into a parasympathetic state. So if you're listening to this and you're noticing, oh my gosh, Heather, I definitely struggle to feel centered when things outside of me are happening. If there's emergencies or people are yelling, or there's confrontation of some kind, or I feel threatened, or I feel shame, I notice I don't handle myself well in those moments. Well, the cool thing is you can actually train your body, retrain your body. That age 0 to 6 can actually be reprogrammed. I do that with subconscious reprogramming and hypnosis. Some people freak out when I say hypnosis, but don't worry. It's not stage hypnosis where I'm going to turn you into a chicken or make you sing like Madonna. That's not real. You're completely in charge of your brain. We just go into a very, very relaxed state. It's like that state between being awake and asleep at night, where your body kind of starts to go like, I'm still awake, but I'm falling asleep. In that relaxed state, we can rewrite what happens in your brain, especially from age 0 to 6, or any other trauma that you've had that's been locked inside of your hindbrain and your amygdala. We can rewrite it. We rewrite it so that you know how to have authority of your life, so that you feel contained in those moments, so that you feel loved, taken care of, cherished, and safe. So if you're interested in doing that work, or that sounds fascinating to you, or you notice that you get anxiety a lot, these are really, or if you notice that you freeze a lot and you just deer in the headlights, and then afterwards you're like, why couldn't I say what I needed to say? I really want to be able to be confrontational, but I completely freak out. If that's you, reach out to me. Let's schedule a session. I'll offer you a complimentary breakthrough session to see if we can work together and see if my style can work for you, and see if we can uncover exactly what's going on for you so that we know what to rewrite. Okay, so I'm looking forward to you reaching out. If you haven't followed or liked this channel yet, like the video, follow the channel, share it with your friends if you think it's valuable information. I'm doing this at no cost for you guys. I want to be a contribution to you. So a way that you can be a contribution back to me is to share the video, like the video, follow along for more information about how to make sure you can keep your nervous system calm and relaxed so that you can do relationships better. See you next time.